When the Dragon spacecraft arrived at the International Space Station and the hatch opened, for the crew, it was clearly a time to celebrate.
And first through the hatch is going to be NASA astronaut Kayla Barron. Some hugs there.
And you could say it was about time.
Crew 3 astronauts have successfully docked and entered aboard the International Space Station.
A day earlier, Dragon, sitting atop a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket, lifted off from the Kennedy Space Center.
Laboratory in orbit.
The launch had been delayed several times for weather issues and what NASA called a minor medical issue one of the astronauts was dealing with. The agency was quick to point out it was not COVID-19. Now the crew, Rajachari, Tom Marshburn, Kayla Barron, and European Space Agency astronaut Matthias Maurer are on board station and beginning 6 months in space, with, Barron says, considerable anticipation.
We're all really looking forward to looking out the window down at the beautiful Earth. And we're also all really looking forward to the opportunity, hopefully, to perform a spacewalk. So I think as long as we can knock out those two things, we'll be pretty happy campers.
It's safe to say Barron has now seen the Earth from two unique vantage points, below and above.
We're excited to represent our class in space.
As a Naval Academy graduate, Barron served as a submarine warfare officer on the USS Maine. She, along with Rajachari, are also among the 18 astronauts selected for the Artemis moon mission flights. This is the first space flight for both Chari and Barron, and brings to 11 the number of Artemis astronauts who have now flown. Maurer is also a rookie flyer. Marshburn is the grizzled old veteran, now with 3 flights under his belt.
3 people who haven't flown in space before getting the experience they need that'll prove so helpful when perhaps they'll be going to the moon. They'll play a part, and maybe crew members as well. So I feel very blessed to be able to be with them, provide whatever I can as a veteran.
And as you know, in space, we're encouraged to play with our food. We've already had some target practice with macadamia nuts, and so far I'd say we've been fairly successful.
During their time in orbit, the crew is expected to see the Artemis 1 launch. The uncrewed test flight will use NASA's never-before-flown massive Space Launch System rocket to propel an Orion spacecraft around the moon at least once. The month-long mission is scheduled for launch in mid-February. The crew might just watch it while digging into traditional German food. Maurer says he asked his countrymen to select some special meals for him.
And it's a venison ragu that is prepared for me, also potato soup, very typical German food, and I bring it up and I will share it with my crewmates.
Good performance on that first stage.
The crew's flight to the station included a couple noteworthy events. The Dragon that carried them was making its first flight. Named Endurance by the crew, it is now the 3rd operational Dragon in the SpaceX fleet. A milestone was also achieved. The Dragon spacecraft carried the 600th person to ever fly in space. So, who got the honor? NASA's way of assigning a number to an astronaut is determined by where they sit in the spacecraft. In this case, the number 600 distinction went to German astronaut Matthias Maurer. For MyRadar, I'm John Zarrella.
Follow MyRadar on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Download MyRadar on iOS, Android, Amazon Alexa, Xbox, and Windows.